There have been an increasing number of attacks on U.S. forces in the Mideast involving Iran. And tonight, the Pentagon is moving more resources to the region. Courtney Kube reports with late details.
Tonight, with growing threats to the U.S. military in the Middle East, the Pentagon making significant moves, including reinforcing their air defenses, rerouting the USS Eisenhower carrier strike group to the waters off Iran, and telling more U.S. troops to be ready to deploy. After at least 6 attacks threatening U.S. troops in as many days in Iraq, Syria, and the Red Sea, the U.S. blaming Iran and their proxy groups.
We know that Iran is closely monitoring these events and in some cases actively facilitating these attacks.
U.S. officials say troops would not go to war in Gaza, and the goal is to deter a larger regional conflict. NBC News recently had an exclusive look at that deterrence.
This is the HMS Prince of Wales. It's England's newest and biggest warship. But right now, we're out here to see how the British Navy and the U.S. Navy and U.S. Marine Corps are all working together. That includes U.S. Marine Corps Ospreys and F-35s that are practicing landing on the deck of this British carrier.
U.S. sailors, U.S. Marines, Royal Navy sailors, Royal Marines have operated alongside each other for years.
But right now, we're really focused on deterring any actor, whether it's Iran, whether it's one of the non-state actors.
And just today, the U.S. took down 2 drones targeting American troops at Al-Tanf in southern Syria. There were no casualties.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.